And I'm probably gonna have my camera off for a little bit just because I am like the allergies are such that I don't want to have people see me blow my nose all day.
Fair enough.
I can respect that.
Unless that's something you guys are like into, in which case you should see my OnlyFans.
I
Sells the Kleenexes.
I have a story about OnlyFans when we're off air. So we're live. Hi guys.
You started in OnlyFans?
Not the point.
Nose wasn't the last word in the Morgan blows on
yeah.
on my OnlyFans.
Yeah. So picking up where we were last time, as I turn down In the Blood from Hades, which is going out of my headphones right now. You guys had successfully infiltrated the let's call it experimentation area beneath the village of Nehet, not Hasper. You have not teleported back across Skelmat. In the village of Nehet. You went in, you were able to rescue the Jarl, you fucked up some Goliaths, you fucked up some Dragoliths. Things were really bad, but you did well. You have 2 captives that you have of the scientific researchy sort that were there in the room, and also have a lot of mages, clerics, sorcerers, wizards, hard to tell right now, who all seem to have been maimed in one very specific way, in that they can no longer cast spells as they don't have tongues. Granted, if there's a spell that doesn't have verbal components, perhaps they'd be able to assist, but
they're also emaciated.
Can confirm they are scared.
They are scared, as Rowan astutely asked them.
I'm really glad that like I'm able to look back at the thing the week before and be like, boy, Morgan was an idiot.
I honestly don't know which is worse, like the bear trying to direct them up, or Morgan just going, "Are you scared?"
Hey, are you scared?
Hey, all of you weaklings, grab onto my bear fur.
There's a combination of just
we're
a lot of
very
like...
smart. And you know what? Also, before we continue, I just want to shout out real quick to Heather's video.
Oh yes,
that crocodile block video is like, oh my god, it is.
Yes.
I probably watched it like at least the song portion at least 3 times in a row.
I really enjoyed editing the song. Like
it's really
like
something else.
It had a sharing copyright issue, so half the revenue goes to the original whichever company owns the Crocodile Rock like rights.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, sharing, cool. I make no money on this anyway, so whatever. Sharing is not.
Here you go, Universal Music.
Well, I think sharing is the option they do, so people are less likely to contest it. Because if you're only getting half the money versus no money, it's
you go.
Well, if a G-Man come looking for you, you just tell him I'm using it as my ringtone, and that's it.
Technically, I bought the song. Like, I paid him for his work, so the song technically belongs to me, I guess.
Well, the parody version. Yeah,
the parody version. Yes.
Royalties are weird. For those of you who have not seen it, go and check out Kaluna Reviews on YouTube and check out the Legend of the Crocodile Block.
Yeah, very nice job. Very nice job.
Because everything's ridiculous. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Also check out the chicken story, which is also on there. Which
that is good too.
Really, so many of our stories just involve Ryan.
Well, at the very least, the next one will involve mostly Morgan. So.
Yes, hopefully I have to rewrite some stuff, but sure.
Yes. Which we should talk about working on that. Not the point. So you guys are in that chamber still. You have come to the realization there was a bit of talking after microphones were off last week, so also to fill in anybody who was watching, there was some discussion as to what happens next. There was some back and forth as to whether there was to teleport immediately back to break with the mages was the question to like stay in Nehet, because technically why the dome is here still has not been solved, nor have any of the missing soldiers been found. Just the kind of experimental crazy magic-y part has been kind of established. But you do have a still unconscious Jarl who took more damage from Phaedra's falling, but was then Phaedra's amazing idea and then was healed up. So
I was going to say, he is not unconscious now. He might be weak as fuck.
He is still unconscious.
Oh, he is?
You're not sure why.
I thought I healed him. All right.
No. He's not. You did a medicine check. He is not bleeding out. He is not dying. He's just unconscious for reasons.
He's not dying anymore.
Got it.
Yes.
Well, my wheelbarrow plan was flawless. I don't see any issues with this.
So we're going to pick up right there. What would you guys like to do?
Okay, so all the scientists and everyone, they ran out except for the couple we grabbed.
You grab 2. Trev is holding on to 1. Sai is holding on to the other.
How many mages are there total?
25.
So we
after
have
getting a rough head count.
So we have 25 mages, 1 Jarl, 2 hostages, and us! Hooray!
Yep. And a big monster outside the stone doors that are closed on the other
right,
direction.
the aboleth. Right. Cool.
Yeah,
All
we
right.
gotta teleport these people out of here and then come back like via the same way or something. That's what I feel like. That's the only real option.
Here's a legitimate question I want to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to try and get aid from these mages? Like, could you heal their tongues? Could you,
I can heal.
Could you restore their tongue or whatever so they could help us?
Hold on.
Listen, she brought me back from the dead.
I did.
Twice,
It's a matter of what the component. Okay.
Just out of curiosity.
Okay, I have a spell called Regenerate, but it is a 7th level spell, so I can only heal 2 people, and then that would also take away our potential if we need to bounce out of here.
No, not worth it. Not worth it.
That'd be really unfair to the rest of them too.
Yes, but my question is, if I do need to do this in the future, do I need to have these components for
what are the components? Remember, it's gold cost. Like, if there is a component that has a gold cost associated with it, then I say that you have to have. Then you have the components ready to go through a component pouch.
What's a prayer wheel? Because that's one of the components. It says
the
holy
cleric.
water and a prayer wheel, and I don't know what that is.
I'm going to make a DM ruling here that in this circumstance, your holy symbol will operate as a fucking prayer wheel, whatever that is, because I don't want to think about it.
That was legitimately just me not knowing what that is.
It's actually behind Craig, up on the shelf behind him. Like, you take a spin, and you just kind of point.
Yeah, it's really loud,
wheel
so
of
I don't
Mega.
want to go spin it. But yeah, this is
the
prayer
Mega
wheels
wheel.
up there.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so I can heal like one of them if we are in a bind, and I will still have a slot for if we need to get out of here.
Yeah, for the most part, just to kind of set a little bit more of the scene, the mages are, for the most part, sitting. A lot of them don't seem to have the strength to really walk much.
Yeah, listen, I was just curious because if we could help one, perhaps that one could help others, and then the itself or whatever.
The blonde-haired one that you had communicated with a little bit, kind of as non-verbally as possible, does seem to be in a not a commanding role, but more of a like leadership position, just kind of through being trapped. And they seem to be, a little bit hardier than the rest, kind of walking around, making sure people are comfortable, helping 2 or 3 of them kind of search drawers, finding some like morsels of food and giving that out to people, that sort of thing.
I did prep because we were going into here and I didn't know how long we would be in here. I did prep create food and water. So if we do have to hunker down, I do have, it will create 45 pounds of food and 30 gallons of water in containers specifically. So
that's a feast
on the ground. Well, it's not great. It's just, it's like rations and stuff. Like it's not like, it says the food is bland but nourishing. So it's like acceptable.
Honestly, for these folks, that's a fucking feast.
Yeah. So
what's the mechanics of?
I had that prepped in case we were going to be here for a while.
The tongue thing feels like a complicating factor, but I don't know. Like, I've never tried to eat without one.
Yep.
At the very least, they can drink water.
Can you make soup?
Sure. It's extremely bland chicken noodle.
It's just bone broth. Like, it's just bland
like
bone
legit.
broth.
That's what we're hoping for here.
Yeah. I can do that. But yeah, like that's if we are going to hunker down. Like I had it prepped just to be safe.
The blonde mage kind of makes their way over to you, Marleman, and starts making some hand gestures at you. They kind of
are they rude?
I give him my sketchbook and my pen.
Okay, that's what I was gonna go try and find. That's better.
He thanks you using the actual like hand symbol for thank you.
Yeah.
And writes into the book.
It's also good for note taking later.
Yes. I am okay. We are not. Can I borrow your component pouch?
Me?
See, this is what I'm saying.
He's
or
holding it up. He's just holding it up.
I hand it to him.
Sure.
Okay.
I don't think I have components.
You do for some spells still.
Okay. Oh,
I
probably,
think,
you know what? For
I
Bard,
think between
bet I
all
need-
of us, we would have a meandering
but
of
either
like
way, I'll give
component
it to him.
stuff. Yeah.
I don't think I technically carry a component bag. That's why
Yeah.
I'm saying this.
Yeah,
Um,
I have component stuff. For my
They kind of rustle through the component bag a little bit, pull out some incense from the bag.
I hand him my spell book.
He thanks you, looks at it, opens it,
No, I wouldn't do that.
realizes that this is written in a language that he does not know,
No.
closes it and hands it back to you, and kind of.
Oh.
I love that for you.
Yeah, he's like,
and pulls out some incense and actually pulls out from under his shows from under his robes one of the more fucked up but smart things you've ever seen. Underneath his robe there is a very small iron hammer that has been stitched into the skin itself using like these small leather bits. You get the impression that he probably did this to hide his holy symbol on him.
I see.
So it wasn't taken away from him.
Gotcha.
And makes a quick casting, or does some quick movements with his hands, and actually using hand movements that you don't recognize, casts a spell you do recognize, Phaedra, as he casts Regenerate on himself.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Man, what a guy.
there we go.
That's what I was gonna do.
touching his own tongue, or the area of such,
Yeah.
and kind of gives you another symbol for thank you as it slowly grows back. Takes a minute.
Yeah.
Man, I was gonna ask.
Yeah, it's not instantaneous.
Resident.
As that is happening, and he's also still like helping people kind of settle in. He looks over to all of you and actually still using the sketchbook, writes out, "Thank you all. Who are you?" With a question mark.
That's fair.
Just look over at Marleman.
Press to digitate.
I look at Sai. Yeah, I can't hear you, Jason.
Marleman runs the intros.
Do I recognize this dude?
I know the drill.
A little bit. He's definitely just by the color of the robes, and as you saw, the hammer symbol in his chest. He's definitely a worshiper of Kord. So he's probably from one of the larger temples, but you didn't spend a lot of time around the temples in the city.
Yeah, we only went to the one with like the Raven Queen, right?
You did. You've gone to the one temple that forgive me, name is escaping me. But the very nice priest that
The one that Ryan didn't like.
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah,
the one I borrowed the book from.
yes, the one that you borrowed the book from was working at.
Okay.
Okay.
But so he's very clearly a holy man of some prominence, but you don't know him, so to speak.
I will introduce myself and ask him who he is.
Okay. He actually, even with his tongue growing back, he's actually still using hand symbols or hand gestures. And as he does so, he also taps his ear a couple of times.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Does he want the notebook back?
Yeah.
He still has it. He still has your sketchbook.
I'll point to
as
it
he
and write my name.
he thanks you
Oh.
and kind of writes back, Brother Carl. Carl with a K.
Hell yeah.
I am proficient at lip reading, so you can continue to speak.
That was my next question. Was can
Okay.
you lip read? Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So again, who are all of you?
I press to digitate the sign.
Oh boy.
We are.
So for the audience, I don't know American Sign Language, so I'm not going to try and fake it. I will be talking, but he is signing and writing for the most part.
Before we have this conversation, just
Mhm.
how solid is that door that the aboleth is behind?
Very.
Okay.
It took all of Trev to...
I can say with some authority, it's pretty strong.
Okay, I just didn't want to start a long conversation if there was a giant monster going to break down the door.
No.
I
Okay.
don't think that thing cares about us anymore.
Cool.
Just kind of Krem. Krem was the name of the
Oh,
brother
right, the
from-
Dragon Age name.
Yes.
Yeah.
As Carl kind of looks over and goes, fantastic problem solvers. Thank you for solving our problems. What's next? We're probably too weak to assist, but we'll do what we can.
If you guys can somehow get yourselves out of here.
I mean, can we teleport them back to break?
Hey, that's good.
He kind of reading that on you, Phaedra. He says, I can tomorrow. I'm not sure any of the other members here are strong enough to... He burned his 7th level to, give himself the ability to cast.
I have... Check this, guys. Check this. My 5th level sorcerer slot is only occupied by the spell Teleportation Circle.
Yep.
And how many people can we push through that quickly? Like, because I remember, the last time we went on a rescue mission,
we had a DM rolling on this a while ago, and I don't remember what the actual number was.
Okay.
Depends on an initiative check from both you guys and from them, but it's somewhere between 15 to 20.
Okay.
It's slightly more than that. It's somewhere between 25 to 30 because it's 6 seconds of getting through.
Okay.
It's 6 seconds and it's a 10-foot diameter.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you could cram people in there as need be.
So yeah, we could send them back to break along with the Jarl and then finish up any business we have here and then teleport back tomorrow if we need to, or make our way back, because I think we should still try to
Why not just
figure out the barrier thing.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
also,
do
there's
we have to
soldiers
leave right
that we
now?
haven't found.
Are we?
No.
Do we want to
No,
leave?
we don't.
No,
I
No.
kind
Just
of need
send them
to
through.
stay.
I'm worried about like all these people. So like we can feed them with my create water and food spell and then send them away with teleport, take like a short rest or whatever, and then like go. What time of day is it? Do we know?
It is getting towards midnight. It is
okay.
later in the day.
So maybe yeah.
Are there any that need like immediate attention?
They've been simply because they've been very clearly kept alive to continue to be drained of power. So they're very weak. They're malnourished. They're incredibly emaciated, but they're not dying.
So we can. So I think probably like feed them, and then teleport them either maybe after a rest, and like we can take watch and like try and just bunker down here, like guard the entrances, and in case any more soldiers come, and then try to.
My concern is that the longer we take here, the more chance they have to either wrap things up or execute all the soldiers that we haven't found, or
Right.
That's why I don't really want to like leave.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
like just get those people somewhere where they're like safe enough, maybe with a message, like to the whatever, like council or whatever we left in charge on our progress.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if we have them bring back the Jarl, like we can,
Yeah.
that'll help.
He should get somewhere safe with medical care.
Can I actually, while I'm thinking about that, can I like check over the Jarl and see if he's okay?
Sure. Roll another medicine check.
Yeah. Okay. Just to double before we send him back. Like,
Yeah.
Here's the Jarl. He's dead. 27.
Not dead.
Not dead yet.
Also incredibly weak. The first thing you notice, and Emily, I'm just going to tell you right now, cover your ears because it's going to get real gross. The first thing you notice is that actually embedded into the forearms of both arms are these long, very thin bundles of wires that seem to be embedded under the skin, traveling up each shoulder and into the center of his chest.
Well, that doesn't sound healthy.
No. Okay.
They have that same kind of shimmery green coloration as the vines throughout the rest of the room.
Sweet.
So that's bad. You could tell that he is incredibly weak. That the very like actions of what's been happening here has just been like a true test on everything that the human body can suffer. So he's not doing well. He's not like actively dying, but he is in essentially a coma, which is why he is not awake right now.
Right.
The body has shut down to such a point that it is on life function only. So he's going to need a lot of help in some way. You're not entirely sure how yet. And you're not entirely sure how these wonderful magical wires that are raked up through his system are affecting him in some way.
Can I make an Arcana check on the wires?
Are you proficient in Arcana?
I am.
I am.
Okay. Either one, all three of you can if you'd like.
I feel like we
take
could
advantage of
send
something.
that back anyways and let him get, let someone in break handle it.
Modified 20.
I can handle it.
Yeah, that's true. There's no magician.
Modified 20. Okay. Sai, what'd you get?
I wasn't gonna do it. I was just.
Okay, then don't worry about it.
I'm busy doing other stuff.
Yeah. Marlon, what'd you get?
7.
Great.
Wow.
So 19.
Yeah.
Hard to tell.
Okay.
Your familiarity with these things comes purely from having seen them before, less as like a academic sort of way. So it's that they were. You could tell that they were being used to siphon energy into his body, and kind of battery him in some way. But besides that, it's hard to really know what they're doing actively.
All the clerics, other than that one guy, were here, right? Like, or the magic use. Like, there weren't any like.
There were no magic users left. Yeah.
Krem's not a cleric; he's just a priest.
Yeah. He's just a brother. Yep.
Never mind. Okay, so all right. Well, if this guy could cast regenerate on himself, maybe he can help. Like, if we send him and the others back along with the Jarl, and then I can try to help, but I don't.
Carl kind of walks up and looks over you, and signs, and then realizes, and then writes. I'm not traditionally medical, but I do have some knowledge. I can keep him alive while you all finish your business, at least.
Yeah.
Good enough.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I still have some, like, especially if we end up taking any rest, like, depending on what our next point is, I could try to throw a couple cure spells in there. I don't know how helpful that'll be, if it's like a disease or magic-y things versus just an injury.
You get the feeling, because you have already healed him somewhat, because of your healing word that you used to, again, undo your amazing wheelbarrow idea.
Hey, it was brilliant in retrospect.
Yeah.
3 wheels, baby. 3 wheels. That's all you need. 3.
That just a traditional like cure thing probably isn't going to help much here. Okay. It's very hard to heal in the way that cure wounds and cure spells in that way kind of work. They kind of stimulate the body's own natural regeneration to just kind of accelerate. When the body's own ability to survive is compromised in this way, they wouldn't really have the effect that you're looking for. They certainly won't kill him, and they might help him, but they're not going to solve any problems here.
Okay. All right. So I think our best plan for now then is either send them now via teleport or give them food and then teleport them, and then see if we can find if there's any soldiers or anything. Have you seen any, like, is everyone here magic users? No one here is like a soldier or like rescue party people? Okay. So there's still potentially those people we're looking for here. We have not seen them
Very
at all.
much so. Yeah.
And we don't have an idea of how many people have come in here besides obviously like the people we see here, right?
Yeah, no idea.
Yeah. We know like a couple rescue parties went. Like when we talked to those,
they were like, "Yeah,
guys
the Great
outside,
Garrison was this big, and we sent everybody in."
Yeah.
So we have
there's
a
like
rough
a couple.
number.
You know that there's probably about 500 soldiers missing right now, if not more.
500? Oh my god.
The Break was a big city that sent
Oh.
just about everything they could at this
That's
thing.
so many people.
Over
Oh my-
what period of time? Curious.
Over
Months,
about
right?
6 to 7 months. Yes.
Yeah.
So there's a good chance that
Okay.
you're not going to find
Man,
500
yeah, them
people,
are
but
dead.
At the very
Yeah.
least, if we can try and turn off the barrier thing so it doesn't swallow the rest of wherever we
Yeah.
are.
Yeah,
I have
absolutely.
questions. First, we're gonna send these people back with Marleman's spell. Do we what time is it? Do we want to take a rest before we head out
He
again, or
said
do
it
we
was
just head out?
midnight.
It's like midnight, so it's like we
That's
do our
why-
business. We wait. We do the business for like 5 minutes, and then we take our short rest or whatever.
Right.
Is my thoughts.
Yeah, let's do that.
I was wondering if we should use the spell before our long rest, because then if we long rest, then he'll get it back and he could use it for
I
other
don't
stuff.
think
If
we're
we
going to long rest.
No,
Oh, we're
Not
not?
long rest.
no long. Oh, okay, gotcha.
We
Alright.
have the luxury of that.
Yeah.
All right,
and like I
well,
said, it kind of doesn't matter to me because
right.
I don't have. I mean, I can use one of those slots to cast something at a higher, but like, it's okay. It's fine.
Okay.
All right.
I also want to say, let me just double check real quick. I believe I have it on one of my ring gems.
you sort of teleportation circle for this exact sort of scenario in one
For
of
a
your
rainy day, you would say.
Nope. It's gone. We used it. I forgot.
Oh, yes,
We
you did
used
use
it, and I replaced it with chain lightning and mental prison.
Right.
So, so yeah. I mean, I'll just cast teleportation circle, and we can let's
Can we
get
take
everybody in an ordered jumble and shove them all through as quick as we can.
I'm gonna write
Well,
a
first we
quick
gotta-
note
Yeah,
to
first
the
we should do is
council.
we should send a message or whatever to the people that would take care of them.
Yeah, I can write a note to like Ducky and the other members of the council.
That's kind of what I'm
explaining-
thinking. Yeah.
Explaining like here are the rescued mages. Here's the Jarl. We're trying to stop the barrier thingy, and and maybe if there's any other soldiers we can try to rescue. So that's why we're still here.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess like something
you,
to that equivalent. Like
you write that out
Tell the leader guy, go find someone on the council, some name, right?
he kind of looks at you quizzically of like
oh right, the
council?
council. They remade the council.
I mean,
the
the council was a thing before, so he should know
Yeah.
roughly what that is.
Right.
We can give like a quick brief to him of explaining like what happened, like and like
yeah.
the fake
he
Jarl
kind
and
of-
like the council.
he kind of nods in the deeply concerned sort of nodding way of like, oh, okay.
Things have gone to hell. Okay.
Like, oh, I thought life sucked here. As it turns out, life sucked everywhere, sort of way.
Mm,
Yeah.
Um,
But at
great.
least the town didn't explode, so that's
What year is this in game?
What do you mean?
2020. Good.
Yeah,
Very yes, and
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so you write out that note. You give Carl the brief.
sometimes I wonder where the line is drawn between Marleman and Morgan.
and they should still have like a ton of
Venn
provisions and
diagram,
stuff
that's a perfect
They're
Jerselheim and stuff. So
and they're getting regular shipments at this point as well. Like,
okay,
they're-
so
yeah,
I
they're
guess I'll hold
stable.
on to my create food and water spell just to save especially if we're not doing a long rest. I'll save the spell slot and then we'll.
Oh yeah.
We'll send them
they'll
on
be
their
able
way.
to get food and water and stuff when
Yeah,
we get back.
yeah, they're not. Yeah.
Okay, I just had that on me. I brought it because I didn't know how long we'd be in here.
Yo,
That's legit.
Yeah, because I didn't know if we were gonna like the annihilation reference made me just concerned. So I was like, all right, let me
mean-
just prep some food.
If this went differently, we would very fucking need it.
True.
Did Gary bring enough snacks for the rest of the crew?
sorry about
Yeah.
that. What's up?
Hey, Gary, did you happen to bring enough snacks for the rest of the game?
If you want some raw chicken that we think has gone bad, then sure.
Oh,
No.
my god. Oh,
Thanks.
Why?
and to think, I
Why?
finished Resident Evil 7 last week.
Yeah.
No, it was purely just a hey. Do you think this went bad? Oh yeah, I think so. That's all.
The
Absolutely.
game was dumb
Before
but
we
fun.
send these guys off, is there anything pertinent that they know about like how they were captured? Anything hear like anything that we think might be useful for like exploring around, like just making sure we're like asking all the NPCs the questions before they go, sort of thing.
Sure. You also still have 2 hostages that we're going to follow up on what
We'll get to them.
we're going to follow up on what Trev and Sai have been doing with those hostages.
Yeah,
in a
no, they're
second.
just sitting on them. That's fine.
Yeah.
But Carl kind of fills you in a little bit. He was taken only 3 or 4 months ago. He was one of the like last big group of people taken. When he arrived, their numbers were a little bit closer to 70. But in recent weeks, they've been pushing the hostages a little bit further. So they've culled their numbers a little bit. How they were captured isn't really the right way to put it. They were just sent here. Carl kind of writes out and explains for you that he was told to go and operate with another, I think he says he left with like 5 or 10 people total, to operate as, continue to aid here at the front line for whatever was happening. And when he arrived, he was sent into the circle and
immediately fell asleep.
Next thing he knew, he was here.
Yep. Okay. Just wanted to see if there was anything.
I will also make minor illusions of Drossel and Corin and ask anybody if they've seen these 2 around.
Doesn't recognize either of them.
They would have been in disguise, so probably not.
I mean, it would look like the old Jarl, so.
Right.
It would look like the unconscious dude right there.
True.
Yeah, but no go on either their real forms or, besides seeing the Jarl there, that's...
Okay. I just figured we'd check.
Yeah. So then, 2 sword boys with the 2 hostages. What are you doing?
Yeah. No, these guys look like sciencey, nerdy type. They're not.
They are nerds.
One's a gnome, right?
Whoa.
One is a halfling. And the other one is a drow.
Oh.
Okay. We'll pull them away from the good people in the group, and
I mean, that's the thing I'm awaiting for. Or like, I need to know that like, I think everybody knows what I want to do. So,
take them into the subsection.
I don't expect to be allowed to do that.
Well, I have an idea. Let's bring them over to the cage.
Oh yeah.
And
press the button.
let's kindly explain to them that we have 2 of you. We only need 1. So
the drow kind of looks at you, Sai, as you say that, and looks at you, Trev, because you were the one that actually caught him as he was attempting to flee. Looks at you, Trev, and says in Undercommon, "How could you be so traitorous?"
Yeah, I found a better deal.
How could you be happy, still lurking here in the shadows? Our queen will bring us back. They will set us to the light.
Trap, we have another one. You could just kill this guy.
You do not understand what's being said, Phaedra.
I know, but I get the tone. Like, we've had enough conversations.
These are happening. Yeah, these are happening while you are talking to Carl and whatnot, so they are away from you.
Got it.
I'm just sitting here. I'm like honestly just thinking: have I bound this person in any way? I probably would have.
You don't particularly need to.
Yeah,
they're kind of wimps.
So, like at this point, I would just turn to Zion and be like, "Do we need this? Do we need him?"
I mean, I guess that all depends on our other friend here.
The halfling is looking back and forth between you both, like just stock silent, but like very clearly that like pissing their pants stock silence. The halfling is also the one you shot in the chest with a.
I grazed him.
Either way,
coward.
Either way, so he's already gotten the lesson of pain. So he's just in that like kind of stupefied, silent mode.
Okay. You know what? I don't think we need him. Do you want to do to him what they were going to do to the captors?
Yeah, I mean, like that's one of the options on the table. Just sort of like let these guys. I think we might have broken the machine though.
No, I did I?
You could feed him to the obelisk or whatever.
That door's heavy. I could just kill him. Like that's
Yeah.
fine. Whatever. I mean, you guys. There are
Okay.
multiple people in this party that I need to not be aware that this is happening
Yes.
because they would not let me.
True.
Yeah, that's specifically why I
Speaking
dragged
of
them.
Nyx, I assume you've been working at keeping people settled and like kind of getting them okayed. Roll just a perception check, just a regular perception check.
Is Aramel still a bear?
That's up to
No.
him.
No.
Okay.
I'm incredibly trapped right now.
I was gonna say I think I see a pearly.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
what
most
a good
adorable,
girl.
Very hard to move on.
the cutest
Right.
seatbelt you've ever seen.
Hello, stinky girl. Hello.
All right. And she's gonna melt behind me instead.
Lap.
Oh, that's not a great perception check. That's not great news for our friend. Hold on, let me
That's
check.
probably good.
Good
We
for
don't
us,
want you
not
to
for
see
him.
this.
Yeah.
It's good for Nyx.
Yeah, that's fair. Like, oh man, we just found this corpse.
13.
13. Nope. You're pretty busy. Don't really notice anything that's happening on the other side of the room. You're kind of really focused.
Yeah. Trev would just basically look over at the halfling and be like, "Yeah, that person's probably good enough," and just this other one is not gonna like this.
As stealthily as possible, because you have a big sword.
Just sort of give him a little.
Yep, just like a little bit of a like 3 foot long blade through the chest.
Yeah, it is what it is.
He goes down silently and falls into the pit. Nyx, from the other side of the room, you hear like a light clatter, but like nothing particularly surprising or shocking. Just like it sounded like
People
sounded like
moving
a person
around.
tripped. Yeah.
Is everyone okay?
Yeah, we're hanging in there. We're just talking to a guy over here.
Okay.
And then just like turn back to the halfling and be like, "So now this can go a lot better for you. You just need to cooperate."
The fear in the face was palpable before, is now gigantic, as he just sort of nods once.
Good. This will go a lot easier. Okay.
I'm not going to have you roll an intimidation check because you guys have fucked this poor. You've done so many things to this poor halfling at this point that
I know it's not in canon, but just the fact that you have like the cigar and you seem so calm, it's really visually funny for this scene.
I'm
You're gonna tell
channeling
me what we
Sai.
know. See,
This is your friendly reminder that Sai is not a good person.
No, it works so well.
yeah, the only two good aligned people were busy elsewhere. So
This is being
Well,
good.
Sai started neutral good. I changed that.
yeah, that did not last long.
So
So he just sort of nods.
So, we have some questions for you. Number one, where are the soldiers who were brought down here, and are they still alive?
He kind of squeaks out, "I don't know. I work down here. I just go from here to the barracks, and that's it. I promise you, I really don't know anything about the village above us."
I'm not asking about the village. I'm asking about the people who were brought down here.
Oh, where? He kind of looks at the clerics and mages and kind of says, "That's it."
That's it.
I'm laughing in Zone of Truth.
No need.
I know.
So it's amazing what you don't need when you've made a person basically piss
I know.
themselves.
It's just really funny.
Okay.
Yeah, Autumn?
So that means the soldiers weren't brought down here, which is worrying. Okay. What were they doing
Where are the
with
barracks?
these people? We'll get there.
Well, the plan was to siphon off as much arcane and holy energy as possible out of beings who were to use, and he kind of shifts a shoulder towards the Jarl. You notice he's like specifically trying not to look anywhere but at you. Like just eyes do not want to waver in case anything happens if he looks away. He kind of gestures and goes, due to his connection to the divine anyway, perhaps we could use his divine blood to open the divine gate.
Want to go see your daddy?
And how did that progress?
Oh, can she go get?
You could see him starting to falter of not that the intimidation in any way is wearing off, more the like this is where it's really starting to grapple with him, that like he's probably not getting out of this situation either way. And so it's more it's a weird battle you can see happening behind his eyes of like professional pride and intense fear.
I'll kneel down in front of him and put my hand on his shoulder gently. Be like, listen, we want information. And if you give that information to us, if you are upfront and honest and tell us what we ask, then I promise that I will not kill you.
He looks slyly at Trev.
He's an elf of his word. Half elf of his word? I forget
Half
what you
elf.
are. He's a half elf of his word. I promise. I can tell you that much.
I will tell you everything that I know if you both promise that after this, I get to go and live my life in peace from here.
And what would you do with a life of peace?
Well, the Order doesn't accept betrayers. So my current plan is to slink away and let my contribution to history become but a footnote and never do anything ever again. I've always wanted to become a gardener.
These guys have a pretty long reach. It sounds like you'll need some protection.
Well, if I do say so myself, sir, and he looks directly at Trev's sword, so do you.
But if we're protecting you...
All I ask is that I don't want anything to do with any of this after today.
That's fine. If we take you back to Break, you pay for the crimes against the people there. But once your sentence is over, you'll be allowed to live out your days.
We're close. Or we were close. The word had come down to that the more that we pushed the subject, the closer we were going to go, and that with the amount of power we've already pumped into him, there was a good chance that the moment his soul escaped from the plane with him, all that power would go and create a hole.
I see. And is there any way to actually verify that you were close or that he was in fact capable of this?
We received reports after we had conducted a large infusion that there was already a break, that something had come through the realms. So we knew that just a little bit further and we would have it.
Did we? Sorry.
At this point, do we can we? I have questions.
You are not involved, Phaedra.
I know. Mine's a little bit more of a DM question.
Sure.
Like, so this happened in the past, he's saying?
Yes.
So that, I'm just trying to remember. Didn't we have like a plane shifting like worm that we fought?
That's what I'm trying to remember too.
Was that didn't that like burst in from another plane?
You had a literal rip between the dimensions, open briefly, and then shut within seconds. Trev nearly lost his mind because of it.
Right,
and
when we were in Habsburg, right?
yes, and an
Yeah,
ice
yeah,
leviathan
yeah.
made its way out as well. That you then
Right.
returned to the elemental plane of water.
And we still don't know the cause of that rift. Or did we figure it out?
Nyx put some pieces together that there are large amounts of souls traveling between the Divine Gate that they were doing in strategic places were causing weakenings.
Which is why when we found
After
out, we
the
went
battle,
back
it
to
has to.
break to prevent them from doing that, because if they killed the city with some whatever they were planning to do, all those souls would go through the gate at once and then crack it.
Right. And
Okay.
remind me, didn't we come to the conclusion that it was because of the battle with the kobolds and the death of the dragon that at that site, that's what caused that
Not
that
to use
threshold to be reached?
Yeah, not to use the actual Full Metal Alchemist term, but yes, basically the crest of blood was carved there.
Yes.
Which means
Okay.
that a strong bit of weakening was done there.
Okay. All right. So it wouldn't match up to what they were doing here is what I'm asking.
Well, it's more, there was also a day and a half gap in between the end of the battle and when the big incursion happened. It didn't happen immediately. So 6 of one, half dozen or sort of situation.
Okay.
It's more you may have found the like direct trigger. Like the spark that actually did it.
Okay. Now I'm concerned.
So are the just I don't remember if I knew this already and forgot or what, but so then are the rift breaks happening on like the points of the transmutation circle thing? Or like, I'm sorry, I don't remember what we were calling
I
it.
think
Use the references that we know. It's okay.
Didn't we take out the map and like mark where?
We did.
You pull out a map.
So that was where I know that's where a lot of murder was happening, but was it also where like rifts were happening, like tears?
There have been weird extraplanar things at just about all of those spots.
Yeah.
You know,
like,
I couldn't remember if we put that part together. I feel like I hadn't. We put that part together.
We did, yeah.
The other part of that as well is that, you know, Trev then connected with Corin either at the same time or sometime after. You know, apologies, time is a little loosey there. And she showed him where the next things were happening. One was in Break, one was in Nehet, and 2 were outside of this plane itself.
Right.
Okay.
I think my brain's in the right spot now to remember and to have processed all that. Okay.
Like the thing I'm hanging up on is like they're convinced that this dude has a connection to the divine and divine blood when he doesn't.
He does not know.
So if they're erroneously thinking this, then is it just the people dying here that's causing it? Because
it's possible
500 soldiers plus magic users plus.
It's possible.
I don't think
but the one who did have divine blood is dead, correct?
Neither of them does. The only person who has divine blood is standing with a sword to the throat of the halfling.
Neither of them had divine blood.
Exactly.
Okay, I couldn't remember if she did and then they had just picked the wrong one, or if they both did.
No, it was all fucked up.
Right.
It's a bad situation all the way across.
Yeah.
My next question to this dude is, how do we cure the Jarl of whatever has been done to him and prevent this from happening?
To be honest with you, sir, there was never planned to be a cure, so I don't know. The tendrils of magic have run deep within him. At this point, I think that most of his essence is magic, being barely held together by a human soul. So I don't know. It will take a smarter man than I to figure that part out.
My understanding is that you siphoned magic into him.
Yes, we replaced. The idea was to fuse his divine essence with magic, and in order to do that, we had to remove as much human essence as possible and shove pure magic into him.
So Theseus shipped him, but with magic?
You aren't there.
No, but that like Heather's trying to like.
That's up to you to figure out.
Okay, that's weird.
He's a Borg.
So there's not much. There's not much human left to him, is what you're saying.
there's still a human soul.
Okay. So it might be possible to siphon that and essentially filter the magic out, and we'll be left with what's left of his soul.
I
Okay.
would recommend finding a good place to put it.
The magic.
The magic, not his soul.
Yeah.
Hand.
Yeah. I assume that if we kind of like pop the balloon and release it all at once, explosive decompression happens, and it'll be bad for everybody around it.
Yeah, it'd probably be a bad scene.
Okay. So we'll have to figure that out. What kind of... I mean, is this... Oh, God. Is he volatile? Like, is he prone to
He's like
explode with magic?
God.
We've kept him contained.
That's...
in that
that's what I mean.
there have been no volatile explosions of magic, but who's to say once he's off the containment, what's to happen?
AKA, you just gave the DM an idea.
Yeah. Oh, he had
So
that
I just
idea.
Don't worry, the DM gave the GM an idea
He
a
had
while
that
ago.
What is the containment?
Excellent.
He kind of gestures at all of the vines throughout the room.
Oh, boy.
Shit.
Okay.
Yeah, the plan, before you all broke in and stopped us from conducting the plan, was to remove him from the containment and as quickly as possible return him to the barracks and then get him to another safe house. Unfortunately, he looks immediately at you, Trev, and says, I don't know where that other safe house was. I'm not responsible with that sort of information. I was just going where I'm dropped off.
But you know where the barracks is.
Yes, it's kind of points down that passage.
And how many more bad guys are there?
Well, there were about 60 scientists, maybe 80 guards total. They were split up between here and the barracks. Some were in charge of containing the town. Others were, or most were in charge of containing the town in some way. Others were in charge of bringing in any captives, any additional magic users that we could use. I would assume at this point that any who are left in the barracks have already evacuated. But the ones who were in the town above us probably haven't received any information yet.
I see. Oh, boy. Jeff, you got any questions for this guy?
Nothing at all. I think that my plans are pretty straightforward. Don't worry.
Okay.
I mean, here's what
Come
it
on.
is.
The berry?
We'll bring him over to the rest of the group.
Okay.
Explain everything that was told to us, and ask anybody else if they have questions for him.
There you go.
Where are the townspeople? Who lived here originally?
They've been put to use. That's all I know. Again, my existence was here within this chamber. It was between here and that tunnel, and that's all.
So has he really told us like what's like beyond the tunnel?
The barracks is all.
He said the barracks.
right?
He didn't say anything
Said
else, though.
that, in the barracks is just where the scientists slept.
It's where the scientists were. It's where our soldiers came in and out of, unless they were stationed in the town themselves. I think there's a direct pathway up to the town itself. But to be honest with you, perhaps this is your own abilities. You're all known by the Order.
Yeah.
So
I would hope so.
Yeah,
so
at
when-
this point.
So when you arrived here in this room, the assumption between all of us was that you've already removed anything upstairs. So when I say that no one upstairs probably knows anything, but judging by what you're asking, I'm going to assume that you got down here without that. So they're probably still guarding and waiting for additional order.
Okay, so you're saying there's just
Is
like
there
soldiers on standby in the barracks.
Not in the barracks, no. In the village itself. The barracks are probably
village.
because
we sent it to,
everything.
like first building we found, right?
Right. Like you guys fucking nailed this, so you didn't investigate any of that stuff. What he is saying is that everyone here who was able to evacuate have probably made it to the barracks, let them know what's going on, and the barracks has been fully evacuated. No one has probably gone up to check the village because they're just, from what he's saying, the assumption is just you've already destroyed anything in there.
I see.
Is there a,
And to go and return and to go and send messages in there or to deliver news or whatnot would be to send more people to their deaths.
So is there an exit out from the barracks, or would they be teleporting out?
They're teleporting out.
Oh, they're teleporting out.
All
They're
right.
not like physically going out.
So you said it's above your pay grade, like what the bubble is, the barrier.
I'm not involved in that part. It's not that it's above my pay grade. Thank you. It's that it's just not different department.
So where could I find the correct department?
Probably the Grand Sage, who's probably still operating in the village. If you haven't already removed that, I would assume.
Do you know where in the village?
They were holed up in the old city hall, from what I understood, or town hall.
Okay.
I got distracted by Kat. Have we asked about what causes the barrier thingy?
Yeah, that was what I was just asking.
Okay, thank you.
He
Sorry,
said
she was
that
attacking.
there's
She was going from my mic. So
understandable. He said that there's a grand sage that's in the town hall in the village, and that's the person.
Trev, your tattoo is lighting up.
Yeah.
You know, not like actually. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
That is a thing you have not heard in a long time.
Oh, I don't like that one, but
I'm assuming you know what the Grand Sage is, brother.
I mean, yeah, I don't know what that means, but I know that that's probably where we are.
So, to speak through Trev briefly, to kind of fill in that gap, there are two different sides of the order. There are the enforcers, you know, people like Trev, people who have very direct connection, let's say, and then there's the actual religious arm of the order that is headed by what are called Grand Sages. They're basically Grand Wizards in the KKK for the same sort of idea. They're bad, fucked up people who will do just about anything in their path to spread the gospel of the Queen of Air and Darkness. They are known to be incredibly old. Something about them is ageless in very specific ways. And that very powerful magic users.
Okay.
So the concept of one being here is concerning.
Yeah.
Or an opportunity, depending on how you look at it.
Something strong enough to do this crazy barrier.
Yeah. And yeah, not too super surprising because it seems like this is a plan being hatched. So I mean, they're more or less the brains of the operation. So makes sense.
So
they'd be overseeing.
So what do you know, like what our quickest way to the town hall would be?
Well, if you killed the aboleth through that door, it kind of points back to where you came from, because that will lead you directly into a warehouse that you could then follow out to get into the docks of the village and go from there. If the aboleth is still out there, I would recommend going through the barracks and coming up. It comes out outside one of the fields. It's an invisible kind of shack that someone has made, they told me. It's apparently very disorienting. You know, you can only really know that it's there if you know that it's there, sort of situation. But it will drop you off. It will drop you off right to the west of the village, and you could head in from there. You might need to worry about an elephant, but...
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think that's all the information I need.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And at this point, he looks at you, Armel, and goes, "Sir, you're a druid, correct?"
Yeah.
I can tell by your general demeanor.
No, I'm a bear. I'm a bear.
Sorry, it's important to him being a druid by sight.
Yes. I can tell by your general. Oh God.
Hell yeah.
I could just tell by the general demeanor and you turning into a bear before. I do ask, what?
Do you like bears?
No. I just
Fuck, bro.
I just ask your forgiveness as a speaker of nature. I ask forgiveness for what we've done to this place. It was an unintended side effect. I promise you that.
All right. Armil is just gonna walk up really close to him,
Oh boy.
like really close, and like point my finger right at his face, and then boop him on the nose and walk away.
The great Aramel, everyone.
That is
God.
forever going to be sealed.
Never
by
change.
Big Aramil energy.
I love when
Never
people
change.
don't know him. It's great.
He's so good.
What does it mean?
All right.
Have I
I wanna-
been cursed?
Scene from Dogma. Right.
Did he
Okay.
curse me?
I don't know, maybe.
He might have. I'm not certain.
I'm
Okay.
Power
I'm
is
thinking
great.
being a
That's
gardener
serious.
to make up for things is gonna be a long way.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pen a letter to whatever captain we left in charge of the army, explaining
Okay.
this dude's situation, that he should be arrested, and
Are you gonna pin it on him like a kid going home from school?
no, I'm
Yep.
gonna
Nope.
give
You
it
just you pin the $20 bill to his lapel, you throw him on the airplane, and you walk away.
No, I'll give it to our
Okay. No,
now
I
tongue
like that
cleric
visual.
friend.
It's funny.
Okay.
explain the situation and make sure that they understand where he's to go. We'll tie his hands up just for safekeeping. Explain to him, like, look,
Really, absolutely, truly does change the meaning of "get off my plane."
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
Alright.
He just sort of accepts all of this and kind of
Yeah.
just stands.
It's very big. It's very big of.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right.
So
Okay.
I'm assuming then that at this point the teleportation circle is drawn.
Mhm.
You kind of usher everybody in there. It's a tight fit, but you kind of squeeze everyone in, and then they kind of understand that this is really their only way out. So they make it work. Plus, they're all rail thin. A few of them are holding up. Are holding on to the Jarl kind of in as comfortable a position as
Ooh.
possible.
Oh, hang on. Yeah.
Right. Do we keep him here?
Yeah, I don't know if we want to send him through. I'll relay everything he said
can't
about.
really, like, carry him around. We have to leave. Like, we aren't. staying
I
here
know,
forever.
but I'm
Yeah.
not sure sending him into a confined space with a bunch of innocent people would be a good idea.
If he explodes with magic, yeah.
I genuinely don't know how to handle this one.
No, just put another note with him
little
and
note.
just be like,
Oh yeah. Don't
No,
poke. May
Jarl.
explode.
Jarl,
I-
possible magic bomb? Question mark.
Oh my god.
Nailed it.
Boy.
I mean,
You
it's
gonna
not
say something, Gary?
fixed now. Is it?
Nope. I'm just letting this happen. Whatever you choose to do is what you choose to do.
man.
Like, what was it? We needed to like siphon the magic out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody have any fucking clue how to do that?
No.
No.
So is the person that we were talking to?
Mm.
Was he the person that did that, or like
He
was
helped.
he helped? Is he still here? Or did we shove him through? We shoved him everybody through.
We
Right?
haven't
We
told
haven't
him.
You haven't
We haven't
told
done it
anyone yet.
because we
Oh,
forgot
okay, great. I kind of want to not interrogate him, but ask him questions about their process.
Okay.
And, and more particularly, what I'm looking for here is like, where did they come up with this idea, and like who thought of this, and where can I find any information on this? Basically, like, do they have? This is going to be a real nerdy thing to say, but do they have like specs? Do they have docs? Where's the?
Those are legitimate questions.
he
You know what I'm
kind
saying?
of
Like, where's the manual for this?
he kind of gestures around the room and says, "Well, there were a lot of notes here that were taken with everybody when they fled. There's probably still." He kind of gestures at the floor at like some of the scattered paperwork that's just sort of around. Since there's probably some useful things in here somewhere.
Well, guess what? You're gonna help me find him.
It might okay. And he, with his hands tied, just starts like picking up paperwork. And
Well, I don't
looking
mean
at
like
it.
that. I just mean like if I bring him papers, or like if him and I walk around the area while I'm picking up papers and looking at him, he can tell me like, is this worth it?
Oh, sure. Yeah, that
Like
is
I'm
something
not
you
making him like grab the
Yeah.
broom and
Roll-
sweep his, like
roll an investigation check.
Okay.
See how well you do on
But
this
can
one.
I get an advantage here because he's helping me?
No, because he's.
What if I were to say charm him?
It's not that.
All right, I'm rolling.
Yeah.
Well, that's a nat 20.
All right.
Well, there
Oh,
you go. You didn't need it anyway.
You do find a couple pieces of paperwork that they let you know are helpful for what you're asking.
Okay.
And just sort of kind of let you know. A lot of the paperwork that you find is just basically data. It's how much arcane energy they're siphoning out, how many mages to what reaction within the Jarl. Like it's a lot
Okay,
of
so
like
now I'm wearing
find,
a
like,
hat,
little
here, but I'm
scales.
gonna ask the question of, can I roll an investigation on this investigation to kind of see if I can make connections with the data, like to try to extrapolate.
Of it.
That's
extrapolate-
going to be an arcane chrono check in a second. But what you do find that he lets you know is really helpful is you find drawn diagrams of the actual structure of these vines themselves, of what they are.
Okay.
They are interlocking webs of actual web. Or of actual vines, like they are natural vines.
Okay.
That they have then been cursed, enchanted. Hard to tell that part. To literally be a receptacle for life essence and arcane essence. So this is technically naturally growing. And what they did was they directed it using seeds and magic, grew it inside of the Jarl.
Okay.
Basically replacing his very veins of blood with these vines.
Okay. All right. So I'm just gonna say out loud, like, just as a statement from what I'm understanding from this information here is, we can't just take it out. Like,
Cool.
we can't just remove these vines. It's essentially his circulatory system.
Okay.
So how?
So.
We gotta just send this dude back, man.
But
So-
yeah, but like, but if he's not here, is he possibly gonna Is all that magic? Like, are they gonna be able to contain him?
So that's the part, Marleman. Now that you have these
Yes.
notes, roll an Arcana check.
Okay. Perfect. Okay, that's a 14 plus 12. That is
Jesus Christ!
a 26.
Yeah, buddy.
Good.
What I know my magic.
If you sent him through the circle right now, the way he is, and it's hard to judge how much power is currently locked up in him.
Mhm.
Just like through just like raw data. If you are worried, if you are to have him interact with the kind of arcane magic that it takes to teleportation circle, he will explode. He would arrive and break and immediately explode.
Okay.
Great. Guess
Okay,
he's staying with us.
More importantly, what you find is that the reason that this room is covered in vines is not just to help siphon the energy from the mages in the basement, it's also to help disperse the energy out of him.
Oh, God.
So the longer he stays
the
off
vines
these
are dousing rods. Oh.
Yes. So the longer he stays off these walls, the more it is just becoming condensed in him, which right now is probably not particularly dangerous. Like it's
but left untouched.
right. So
Yeah,
something that might need to happen either now or later or what have you is to figure out a perhaps portable version of these. Okay. You come up with two plans, and I'm just giving you these two plans because you're an intelligent enough
What have
person.
I deduced from this? Yeah,
Exactly. To either A, leave him locked up to these walls at least for a little bit longer to help siphon off some of that right now, and then figure out later on a way to get him out of here.
Yeah.
Or B, to try and literally recreate this experiment into a portable form, hook him up to it, and then send him through.
Good lord.
I mean, I
Boy,
don't
do we
like.
let the ticking time bomb just sit for another 10 seconds, or do we try to cut the red wire? Like,
I don't like
I
leaving
don't
him
think there is a
unattended. Is
cutting
the
the red
thing.
wire.
no, nobody's cutting it. But my point is basically, do we leave him here, or do we?
I don't
try
want
to
to
do
leave
the
him here
dangerous
because
thing?
they could just
Like-
port back and get him theoretically.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I tell anything about the vines and if, like, I don't know.
I
mean,
hit him. I know.
can I tell if, like, we just chop them off the wall, are they going to die? Or is there some way to, like, transplant them like a plant? Or is this...
Roll a nature check with advantage because you're you.
Also, I'm
There
fairly
you go.
certain if we were to just cut him straight apart from this thing, it would just release all the energy, and it would be bad.
Well, he's not attached to it right now, right?
The Jarl is not attached to it, no, but the vines on the walls are still faintly glowing.
Okay.
Hang on. They said there was a safe house
Yep.
that they could have taken him to that also could have contained him.
Right.
So at some place, somewhere, there's another version like this.
I mean, you've already seen at least one.
Where?
They were using a similar system to help speed up a lich's return from phylactery.
I rolled
Huh.
a 21.
You rolled a what?
21.
21. Okay. Yes, cutting the walls off, the vines off the wall will both A, boom, B, kill them. Not really sure which would come first, but it's somewhere along that process. But transplanting them, taking a look around, and you're able to, again, because you're Aramil, you're able to identify the kind of central points that all the different vines are growing off of. And you think with some really, really steady hands and a bit of focus, you could probably, getting someone's help who has much steadier hands than yourself. But under your watchful guidance, you could probably figure out a way to transplant one of the central kind of growing aspects of this to something else. And then perhaps make that portable. It would the central thing itself is probably about 1 foot by 2 foot wide, kind of root central. It honestly kind of looks like a brain that all these other vines are growing out of. And there are hundreds of smaller vines coming out of this thing. But you could figure out a way to make that happen.
Right.
As long as you had a thing big enough.
If only I had more time. I had something.
Can you remind me too? Is this what we saw underground with those like tubes?
Yes, this is a similar version of that.
Okay.
Same basis of magic, just in a slightly different form.
Thank you for asking a question I didn't want to ask because I was too afraid.
Oh, I apologize. I apologize. I thought I had made that clear previously. Yes, you've seen things like this before. You just haven't studied
did
it.
it. You said that in the last episode. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
How big do you need the thing to be?
It's like 2 feet by 2 feet, something like that.
Yeah.
How long?
Big pot.
I can ask the halfling. How long, while he isn't connected, do you think he has until he becomes like a
Truly unstable the way he is now.
yes?
If there was no interaction of magic from this point forward, probably
3 days. No, we have to do this now. Like
no, I was just I just wanted to know if it was like an immediate like need to solve right in this like next like 10 minutes.
No. He is not a bomb currently. Like he is just unconscious and something is happening to him.
Even so, that considered, me says we have, or I think Emily and I are both kind of in the thought here, which is like we have all this time to do this now while he's not gonna explode. Let's do this.
Yeah. Why would we not?
No, that's why.
If we send him, through the portal, he is right. That
was right.
As he is
too
right
brave.
Start doing this now. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
there's no
assume
reason.
from the heavy-handed implication of steady hands that's me.
Yeah, Marlon puts his hands in his pockets because that sure as shit ain't him.
The
I assume you're asking for
the
some
wheelbarrows.
sleight of hand checks.
If
The
you guys
wheelbarrow is destroyed, right?
no, actually, it was a stone. It was a stone kind of wheelbarrow. It's just sitting on its side.
Oh shit!
you're-
That's our vessel.
Battery.
There we
Yep.
go. Let's go.
That's our vessel.
Fuck yeah! Let's do this. What did I
Okay.
say? 3 wheels? We just got our 4th.
All right, so I'm gonna be coaching Nix while they figure out,
Yep.
Oh, we figure out the whole wheelbarrow situation.
Phaedra, you probably have to do like 1 or 2 mending cantrips on it to get it. Like,
Oh yeah.
Good. But
Oh
yeah.
god! All I can think right now is just rickshaw. Just
Yeah,
crazy
it's-
taxi rickshaw. Just,
So-
All it is.
So like the magic is like the vines and like the magic are like part of his essence. Basically, is what we've gathered. So like.
Magical vines have replaced this man's circulatory system and keeping him alive.
Yeah, I understand.
Awesome.
I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, now okay. I had an idea and I was looking up some stuff and I was like,
These-
that won't work.
These people have done terrible things to this poor man.
yes.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
here's the thing. Since we did say clipping them is explosive, I'm gonna ask everyone that doesn't need to stand near what we're working on to back up.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
And I'm gonna use my mage hand because it doesn't get difference on sleight of hand stealth check,
Okay.
and that way I can have at least a little distance in case.
I
Okay.
really wish I'd had anti-magic field prep today.
That'd be great. All right.
Yeah, well, here we
so,
are.
with Aramil in your ear telling you exactly what you need to lift and pull and where safe parts to trim will be, roll a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
You got this.
Okay. Thank God for reliable talent, but that means it's still not my greatest.
Mm.
That makes it 9, right?
No, it makes it 10. Makes it a flat 10.
10.
Always 10, yeah.
So then I rolled 25.
Okay.
Still pretty good.
Fucking rogue.
The DC was 25.
Oh,
Hey.
As you, with your mage hand, take one of your knives, one of your non-magical knives, the keen, let's say, the keen dagger,
Yeah.
and very carefully, there is a moment where you cut a bit of vine that you were not supposed to, and you see from the other room a brief begin of glowing green magic that looks like it's going to be really bad, and then it just kind of fades. It's like
the equivalent of watching the timer click downward
Yeah.
from like 30 seconds to 10 seconds.
exactly.
Uh,
Okay. You're able to remove this thing from the wall, or make it removable.
Mhm.
Trev and Phaedra, let's say, as the beefiest members, you guys strategically negotiate your way over there as carefully as possible. You lift this vine structure off the wall. You place it onto the wheelbarrow as carefully as you can.
The whole time that's happening, I'd like to be talking to it and saying like, "Good job, don't blow up. You can do this."
So I talked to
giving it some plant encouragement.
Yeah.
And you now have a structure on this wheelbarrow that you can hook the Jarl back up into.
Okay. Mhm.
Plug them back in.
Great.
Okay. You, with the halfling's help, kind of teaching you, Marleman, how to do this.
Yep.
You're able to literally coax more of the vines out of his wrists to connect into this structure.
Cool.
Almost immediately, this structure starts glowing like a more intense green as its battery source is plugged into it. But looking at it, taking a breath, stepping away, you think you'll be okay, at least for a little while. This will help siphon things off him that he can now interact with magic in such a way that there is more space for it to go, and he won't explode.
Sure. We just poked a hole in the bottom of the bucket.
Basically.
Understood.
More accurately, you took the bucket and you put a hose into it. You put a siphon into it into another slightly larger bucket.
Okay. All right.
All right. So that means we can teleport him somewhere safely and he won't explode.
Yes. With the halfling also lets you know that once he or lets Carl know, let's say, just to kind of walks him through how to get this carefully off the wheelbarrow and hook it up into such a position that it can continue to grow, so that way it can actually take more energy, because it will very quickly overtake this entire thing and then just start like growing all over the ground and will just be a mess.
What's this guy's name?
I was just about to ask that.
His name is Hewitt.
Hewitt. I really appreciate how helpful you've been. Obviously, you were the cause of this problem partially to begin with, but but you didn't have to help us.
You want to work off your debt.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm really glad that nothing bad happened to you.
Nick doesn't know.
Nobody knows.
Like, what a helpful guy. Like,
Just really, what a G.
Literally just like frozen up, just like locked up, like
Look at Trav and gets the don't you dare say it.
Yeah, just like the
Trev just gives him this big, deep, dark wink.
So helpful. We really appreciate it. And the fact is that this is like a band-aid for like a very big gaping wound. We'll like in the future probably need more help with this. Like, would you be willing to
I will happily
more in the future?
I will happily go and sit in a cell in break, and if you need me, I will be sitting in the jail in break, serving my due diligence until you're needed, right?
Sai is nodding behind him. It's like, oh, you're gonna be actively working. You're not just gonna sit on your ass.
Yeah.
You're gonna be making up for stuff.
We'll tell
Sai, make an insight check.
Cool.
Who's the cleric who can communicate with us now?
Carl.
Carl. We'll be like, keep an eye on him.
He has our nods.
There's a letter with him. That's believe me, he'll be.
Yeah. Keep an eye on him. He still tried to run away.
That is a 6, my friend.
Oh,
okay. Seems pretty content with the idea of working to help pay off his debt.
Should I ensure that it happens?
That's not
I have
it.
a feeling it will.
I'll tell you guys off mic, because your characters won't know, but I can tell you guys. So, with that taken care of, you're able to then bundle everybody onto the teleportation circle and return them to break. It, again, is pretty tight, especially with them now like giving at least a little bit of a berth to the wheelbarrow.
They're like doing some cheerleading, like hand sandsy.
Yeah, is this thing going to get like an instruction manual for whoever's finding it?
I think the instruction manual is Hewitt.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah, it's the dude.
I think I'm mildly concerned.
Is there anyone on the council who can send like messages to me?
No, there's no magic. There's no magic left in the city of Break. You're sending magic back.
Okay, now I just couldn't remember if I was just checking in. Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see what happens after that.
Cool.
And with a bright flash of blue energy and a quick blink, they're gone. The chamber is now oddly silent and empty, save for the 6 of you.
Cool.
Okay.
Should we check the barracks or whatever then? No. Or...
yeah, I know people want to take a rest.
At this point, it's probably getting close to 1:30 in the morning.
Okay. I thought we weren't taking a long rest, but
short rest.
A short rest. Okay.
Oh, you guys could have taken a short rest through the course of this time. You know, you had things to do, but you were for the most part resting.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to take if you would like to roll hit dice, if you're missing health, please do so.
Cool.
If you're a warlock, you get your some of your spell slots back.
Hell yeah.
Do you get wild shapes back after short rests?
Yes.
Do I?
You do now.
I don't know if it's short rest or long rest.
And you're missing some health.
How many do I get back? Honestly, I can't remember.
I'm checking. Give me a second.
Wait, what is hit dice?
I know.
What is hit dice? Is D6, right?
It depends on your
depends
class.
on your thing.
I'm trying to find, but I can't find yours.
Wait, I got it. Let me control. There it is.
Oh.
Druid hit dice are a D8.
D8.
Plus your, so you basically like for each one you roll, you can roll and then recover like D8 plus your Constitution modifier, like things.
You regain expended uses when you finish a short or long rest, so you get all of them back.
Ooh, I get a
Heck
channel
yeah.
divinity back.
Thank you.
Yeah, so short
Okay,
rest definitely worth.
Yeah, short rest is good for me.
It's
I
not
don't
good
think
for
that-
everybody, but it is very good for a bunch of us.
You just add as I tell you.
I can.
As Marleman just sort of fingers his ring and looks sadly at his spell slots.
Oh hell no! I take a nap. Fuck you guys.
Well, you still won't get your spell slots back.
Well, of course not.
Okay.
I'm well aware of that. I'm
I'm just
I
letting you
am
know this
sitting
is a
muttering to myself. Don't give me spell slots.
Wow, it feels good to have 3 5th level spells.
I'm gonna say you
Ooh.
still have more. You still have 2 more spells than I do. All
Yeah.
2 of them.
Yeah, but all my good spell slots are gone right now. Like
Enough.
that's not true. I still have.
So how many?
There's all
Uses of
Chain
next
Lightning
level
and
spells.
Mind Prison, which are both pretty dope.
See, you have left.
All right. So the next part of this, there's
Sorry,
an army above us.
Can I ask one quick
Yeah.
question again? Hit
Yes.
dice, you get a certain amount per short rest, right?
No, you get a certain amount per long rest. You have
Oh,
as
okay.
many hit dice as your class level,
Okay, good. Thank you.
and you recover half of them upon a long rest. Half of expended upon a long rest. So if
Okay,
you use
good.
4, you'll get 2, and then 2.
All right, cool. Thank you.
So there's essentially an army above us.
Uh-huh.
And we need to take out this Grand Wizard, whatever the fuck he is. Here's the thing. This is one of the places that's marked for massive casualties equal bad. So we have to figure out a way to get to him without causing too much bloodshed and then getting people out.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like we can't just kill them all. That won't help.
I mean, now that we're not dealing with a bunch of, compromised folks, if we're willing to either kill the big monster or sneak past it again or run past it again because it seems to be confined to its weird hot spring,
Mhm.
we could climb back up the snake eater ladder and go the way we came.
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
that's
probably
an
the
option. If we want to avoid mass casualties, that's probably the only option.
That's the best.
Yeah, like it's unfortunate.
And that's
we have
fine.
to go backwards and fight that
Yeah.
thing, but I think it's
Yeah,
what we.
it's like it is safest, and it's an option we have. So hey,
Mhm.
I like
Yeah.
it.
Okay.
Did we know where specifically that like sage person was?
The old town hall,
Yeah.
Town hall. Okay.
which we've seen a map of the hit. We know the general
Yeah.
location of it, right?
That sounds like a place that may have a sign outside. Like
I mean, it's probably also the biggest building in the city.
one of yeah.
and that is exactly how you know it, because you have already briefly seen it.
Cool.
It is not too far away from the line of warehouses that line the docks. It's probably a couple hundred feet further into the village itself.
Sure.
It is less of a town hall and more of a tavern that has been kind of branded as town hall.
Cool.
But
How long would it take us to get there if we were being cautious?
I mean, running past the aboleth, up the snake eater ladder, and then back out of the warehouse, probably another 40 minutes to an hour from where you are now.
Okay. So I'll hold off on my thing until we're upstairs.
Okay. So is your plan to all of you sprint headlong past the aboleth?
I guess so.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
Can we
I
even,
don't.
like open the doors fast enough that like we can?
Oh, the door is still somewhat open, so it will be easier for Trev to get it back open, because he's not pulling it from sealed.
Plus, is there a button for that door that we know now?
No.
No.
It looks like this is a door that is manpower.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
this is what we have.
All right. Well,
You look around and you recall that there are 2 dead Goliaths on the floor and go,
right.
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 That seems reasonable.
All
We
right.
just walk past this dude. We'll be
We'll
fine.
do our best.
Yeah.
Wasn't there like lava bridges and shit we had to
Yeah.
cross?
That's the other thing I'm worried about. Is like this is not just this one room we have to get through. It is.
Yeah, it's not like we
It's-
run past the aboleth, we're outside. It's like, no, it was like the aboleth and like rickety bridges and pools of lava. And
Yes.
And pools of water, if I'm not mistaken.
Both.
that was very hot.
Yeah.
water,
Yeah.
so-
Which is
And
where
it's in the
the
water.
aboleth went into the water, right?
You're also still somewhat certain, Sai, that the aboleth can also be in lava because no one has explained to you yet that you were hallucinating when you saw
Oh,
come out of
yeah.
lava.
Also, there's monsters in the lava.
No, there weren't.
Word. I love lava. I mean, I believe it.
They're 100%
Yeah, I
were
wouldn't-
one
Well,
We
shot
saw
lava.
him
at
say,
night.
I'm
hey,
not-
that, and there was
I'm not
nothing
ruling
there.
that out.
yeah.
No, because I remember when he pointed it out, we looked and there was nothing there, so that's how we
Yeah,
knew
but
it
that
was an
doesn't mean there is nothing there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What if we open the lava into this room and then we try and run over the lava bridge or whatever, right? And then there's no more lava, right?
I think there's more lava out there than can fit in here.
It's not a pool of lava in that sense of like just move from one to the other.
Oh, that's fine.
I
It was
love
a
that
lava
idea, though.
flow specifically, right?
Yeah.
Yes, there were
Okay.
a few. There were lava flows.
Okay.
That
No,
was
I get what he means. Like if there was just a stagnant pool of lava,
A
that was
stagnant
still
pool of
heated
lava
somehow,
would
No,
not.
that flowed
they're
into
all-
the trench. Yeah,
There is a pool of lava that is connected to this trench for sure, but it is also flowing from the other side as well.
that's a concern. Yeah.
I'm pretty confident that I could like run past and be fine, but I'm not sure about some of my friends, and so I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
that's
Yeah.
doesn't seem like a
So-
risk we want to take.
And going the other way brings us back out of the town on the western
And then
side.
we have to get past some possible holy bonds.
Elephants.
We'd have to sneak back into the town.
Mhm.
We approach from the south.
Yes.
Where'd
The
Okay.
southeast of the village specifically.
So we'll be on the western side. Do we have any idea what that landscape looks like?
Wasn't that the flat side that we didn't go because the guards up top could have spotted us super easily?
Yes.
Oh,
Our friend Hewitt said it was the fields with the olifants.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why we
well,
didn't.
shit.
Yeah, so
I have
I
another question about our obelisk guy.
Obelisk?
the aboleth.
Aboleth. It is not Obelisk the Tormentor.
That's great.
Oh,
Okay.
but what if it were?
We can name him Obelisk.
Make it
It's
so, Gary. Make it
Obelisk
so.
the Tormentor.
Oh,
Can we?
okay.
Can we? I noticed that there's some dead fucking guy over here. Can we try and just feed this guy to the obelisk while we run past?
That's not a terrible idea,
Mm,
I mean,
honestly.
How many dead people are in here that we could just feed to this guy while we run past? There's a few,
Two
right?
giant fucking
There are a couple
monsters.
Goliaths.
I love your idea. I
Couple
respect the
Goliaths.
hustle. We did just give away our wheelbarrow, though, so that's going to make it a little tougher.
Yes,
Yeah.
there are
Yeah.
6 bodies in here. There are 2 Goliaths, there's 2 Dragoliths. There's a weird random drow in the trench that you hadn't noticed before, but has a
Oh,
really
man,
big
wow.
sword wound through the chest.
Damn, huh?
Huh.
Oh, how'd he get
Must have
there?
been-
That guy's
must have been
a-
invisible or
Said
something.
it exactly like that. Oh man! Wow.
That dude's having a long day, man. Wow.
And there's
Some
a
total
there-
asshole who's really handsome must have done something to this guy.
Well, because like the,
Oh,
I mean, throwing the bodies is honestly not a terrible idea because then like the water tentacles, if we use that as like the first thing it grabs, it's grabbing something else.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Like it's really not a terrible idea.
also,
It
if we
sounds
throw it
fun
into the
to me.
pool that we see and then keep running, it might go to the pool behind us.
Can carry one body. Maybe like our like magey friends can carry one. I can't carry it.
No, I wouldn't expect you to.
So like, so the question becomes, if you want to pursue this plan, how many?
There's also
Phaedra and Trevor.
it's also worth noting that at least 2 of the corpses, even just looking at them, even a fiend would not want to eat these.
And the Goliath is Goliath.
But
Well-
the Goliaths are giants. They're still humanoid.
Yeah, they're like,
No, I
There's-
mean for the sake of
They're
carrying,
big.
weren't they very?
Oh, they're very heavy. They're
They
very
count
big.
as a
They're
size
very
there's that
larger
one
than they
drow,
are.
at least he's easy
There-
to carry.
there is not a non-zero chance that Trev could carry both Goliaths, but he would not be moving very quickly.
No.
Well, I was
Yeah,
thinking
but,
more
you know.
like one get the
Drop
legs,
them
one get the arms, and then heave ho into the water, and then we fucking book it. There's a disturbance in the pool right outside the door.
Ooh.
By the time the aboleth gets there, we're already moving.
Yeah.
Is the fact that he attacked us mean that he eats people?
No, he told us that he was hungry.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he
Yeah.
mentally
Oh
shouted
right,
that
I
one at
forgot
all of you.
about that.
Plus, there's the whole legend that this thing eats people and cows and all sorts of shit.
Okay.
Oh right, the chupacabra thingy.
So
yeah.
it's not
Yep.
like throwing corpses at it and it's like, guys, I'm vegetarian. Like,
Yeah, no.
That would be hilarious.
How dare you?
Just eats plankton.
I don't eat anything
Yeah.
with eyes.
I didn't think that.
I'm actually
I
on a
don't-
juice diet
we
right
didn't do
now.
a Baleen check on this thing.
And you did. Those of you that saw it, like actually saw the thing, you also saw a circular, very tooth-filled maw.
yeah.
Yeah.
It is. It. You have a good feeling that it'll happily eat whatever you throw at it.
Okay. I mean, if you guys, I can't really execute that part of the plan. And again, I'm not, unless I jinx the crap out of myself, I'm not the risk on the running past it part. So like, that's your call. Like,
I think we try and
Ooh.
throw the two Goliaths, Sai and Trev and Phaedra and the strongest of the rest of us.
That would be you, Arabelle.
That would be you.
Wouldn't be
Carry
me.
them 2x2.
They're Nick's are more limited, so therefore by process of elimination, it is you.
I'm not that strong either, but I will
You-
try.
You can turn into a gorilla or something.
Hey, on.
Oh, that's true.
Fader, how
Yeah.
strong are you?
If I had to put a number to it,
You are equipped to do that, as it turns out.
I have a +3 to strength.
Okay. I mean, if realistically, if we just want to take either both Goliaths or a Goliath and the Drow,
hmm
like we wouldn't need a ton of muscle, and it's still two bodies splashing in.
Yeah, the hope is to just distract it enough so we can run past.
Yeah. I also have a horrible idea.
Is it
That's
to summon an
only horrible.
elemental?
Either an elemental or a fae.
Oh, I'm sure they'll love that.
I actually have a question about giant
I
scorpions.
don't want to do that.
What about giant scorpion? Yes.
So let me just give you a strength number, but could I pick up, I got 2 massive claws. Cha-chomp, cha-chomp. Right?
We have to get through a door.
2 guys in my claws and just drop that shit?
We have to get through a
What's
door.
the strength on the giant scorpion?
Ooh, not that good. Well, it's okay. 15?
No.
So,
One.
also, how big is the door?
That's
I mean,
the door itself is like pretty big. It's like
Okay,
a 10-foot,
giant scorpion sized?
like a 10-foot by like 5-foot door. Like it's
Okay, so
pretty
not
big.
giant. Not
The
giant.
problem
Big enough
is
for a
that
crocodile.
for a giant scorpion like would be able to get out of it if it was open all the way.
Right,
Just the amount of time it would take Trev to open the door all the way.
right.
It wouldn't be
Probably
fast. It
not
wouldn't
useful.
be quiet.
No.
Right. The fucking
It's not
giant
gonna be-
scorpion has 40 speed, though. That's insane.
It's a quick fucker.
Moves quick.
All right, anyway, I'll try and carry. I could try and carry the Goliath or the Drow. I only have one.
You
I
all
can-
watch. Roll a strength check, Armel.
Oh
just
boy.
roll a regular strength
So
check.
for the drow, you won't be able to pick up the
Arabelle,
Goliath.
what's your
Hang on.
strength?
No. He's gonna. He said Goliath first.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna do it with Phaedra, bro. I'm not trying to do it alone.
How much
Okay.
does Goliath weigh? Roughly?
Goliath. Give me
They're
1 second.
300
Are
plus?
they medium or large?
They're technically medium because
but
as
they're
I
like
saw.
a large-ish
But I
size.
Yeah,
saw
they have
someone-
those rules. They carry stuff as if they were.
Yeah, I saw someone like put one of my favorite memes I've ever one of my favorite things I've ever seen together. It was a picture of the Goliath and then the thing that's written underneath, which is Goliaths are between they weigh between 280 and 340 pounds.
Cool.
But you count as one size larger when determining your carrying capacity and the weight you can push, drag, or lift. So they took that and then put it next to fucking Sam Jackson from the third Star Wars prequel with the "We grant you the large carrying capacity and whatnot, but we do not grant you the title of large."
Nice.
Great.
Which
Okay,
so-
am I you want me to? I'm helping him on this.
Yes,
I-
if you
for
two are
that-
carrying one of the Goliaths.
For what
Okay,
it's
I
worth,
thought
that
we were
means that
gonna-
I can carry one soul.
Yeah, Trev
Sure.
can 100% carry one solo.
So strength save or check?
Check, just
Yo.
check.
I'm fucking so strong. I got 16.
Your carrying
Alright.
capacity in 5e
Uh,
is 15 pounds per point of strength.
I
Huh.
rolled a 17.
Okay. Sai, you can lift the drow just fine on your own. So
Yeah, that's fine.
You just have that
Yeah.
body. Trev, you also just sort of a Goliath up onto your shoulders.
It's fine,
It's
carry the fucking
heavy, but it's
It is heavy.
Yeah.
And
Weighs
now we
almost
have
as much
to
as his
open the
fucking
door.
sword.
And then you look over at Aramil and Phaedra, who have the Goliath up, but Aramil already is just like, okay, gotta go fast. Whew.
He gets the legs.
Cynic. Okay, well now we have to open the door. So
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I mean, Trev has his hands available. He's got this
Oh,
thing.
you're
It's not-
backpacking
I can
him? Oh,
I can
okay.
put the thing down and like
Yeah.
this is not.
I assumed
Don't
you were
worry
putting it
about
on
me.
you like a
Yes.
drunk like friend just on your back.
Yes.
Yeah, don't
the
worry
part that
about
I will
me.
worry about is Trev. Roll a strength check to push the door open. And this time you're pushing, not pulling, so it's actually easier for you.
Is
Oh, good.
everybody ready?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, worthwhile question. Are we all good?
sure.
Yeah.
Good.
Are my? I don't remember if I clicked my boots even.
You didn't click your boots in that fight.
All right, I'm gonna.
So you do
click-
have a point of exhaustion. But
Wait, what?
No, you.
when the haste spell fades off you, you get a point of exhaustion.
Oh.
What about a short rest? Does that change that?
No, that's
No,
undone by
long rest gets rid of
bonus.
exhaustion.
The thing is that 1 point of exhaustion doesn't really do anything. So
Yeah.
it's
Or
more
will
just
one
more of a
rate.
hindrance.
Nice.
Yeah.
So then, strength check on the door.
21.
21. You it open. I need all of you to make either an athletics or a dexterity check, depending on which one is higher for you.
Athletics.
Oh,
or
I'm gonna
dexterity.
trip.
Is this for navigating the room? And does that mean we're dropping? I'm tossing this body first.
This is you're all tossing the bodies into the water and then running. This is for the running part. You don't need to roll a check to just heave bodies into water.
Is this a saving throw or just?
It is not a saving throw. It is,
It
an
is
ability
either
check.
athletics or acrobatic. Athletics and acrobatic are both skills. I don't know if your proficiency in them or not, but they're just skills.
Oh,
next-
acrobatics is good for me.
Next, you have disadvantage on ability checks with 1 point of exhaustion. So
That is
Oh.
true.
you do roll with this with a disadvantage.
But you are probably still pretty good at it. So that's
Yeah, my acrobatics is good.
You still have reliable
your
talent.
cool ass roll.
Because I forgot.
15.
15 from Sai. Phaedra.
19.
19. Trev.
24.
24. Marlman.
17.
17. Nice. Nix.
27.
7. Armil.
17.
17. All right. You all so Trev pushes the door open, and there's silence on the other side of the door. You all step out, and no sign of an aboleth. Everything's quiet. You all, the three of you, your bodies into the large pool of water, and the moment the bodies break the surface of the water, you hear sudden thrashing and movement from deep within. So you all just start
Time to go.
running. You're all able to make it across the wooden bridge without issue. You're now in the large chamber you were in before. You can see the pathway that leads out to the ocean with the sound of rushing water coming from one side. You also see the smaller paths that are feeding lava into the chamber. You see the snake eater ladder about 75 feet away across the room. You know the path that you need to take, and from behind you, you can hear this terrible guttural voice screaming into your ears, "I require more!" As you all kind of turn and look behind you and see this thing. One Goliath half swallowed into this mouth, as it's now trying to ram its way onto this bridge. You all, nope. I need you all to make one more check as you navigate this room across.
Another athletics or acrobatics or
Athletics, acrobatics, up to you.
okay.
Let's do it. Oh, wow. Awesome.
16.
16 from Marleman.
21.
21 from Nyx. That's with disadvantage.
Yeah, that was with this. I rolled 10 and 11.
Nice. Armel.
Sorry, 20. I took the higher one because I'm stupid.
20. Either way. Armel.
18.
18. Sai.
18.
18. Trev.
29.
29. Phaedra.
9.
Oh,
I rolled a
Yeah, well,
6
here
and I
we
have
are.
+3.
You all make your way across these wooden bridges, occasionally jumping
Sure.
onto the stone that's a little bit more stable. And as Phaedra, you like run across one of them, you feel your weight just come down wrong on your ankle, and you're like, "Oh, did I
ow.
twist my ankle? What happened? Oh no!" And you look down and you realize you put a hole through this bridge itself. Your foot is dangling just barely over the lava. There's like maybe a half an inch there, but you pull your foot back up and you start running. You all make it to the ladder. The aboleth has now made it to the like halfway down the wooden bridge you just all ran down. This thing's actually pretty slow when it's on land. And you all just fucking book it up this ladder. You're all able to safely begin climbing the very long ladder before this thing is able to make it into the chamber.
hey.
Let's say that, Phaedra, because you were the slowest, you were also last up the ladder.
Sure.
And as you're about like 20 feet away from like where the chamber, like the chamber of the roof has actually or the roof of the chamber has like gone away, and you're just in passage now going up, you like briefly look down and you just see this thing's like tentacles trying to like make its way up and try to force its way into the chamber, but it's far too big. As you all just slowly climb up to the surface.
Yay.
So we're going to cut it there. We'll pick this up.
What a thrill.
Woo!
That was close.
I didn't
All
think
right.
I was going to make it out of there, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, it was a group
We would've
check, and one
found
of
a
you
way.
rolled a 29. Like
Oh, okay.
you were
would've found a way.
you were buoyed up.
Oh, good.
I considered, so me being a nice DM, I considered having you like actually hit the lava and take a bit of lava damage, and then I remembered how much that is, and decided to not do that.
I am resistant, so I would take half, I think.
It is technically fire damage, but it is also still 12d6
Yeah.
fire
Ooh.
damage.
It's like a lot.
No, I know. I'm just saying I wouldn't.
That's a
It would
spicy
take maybe
meatball.
2 rounds to kill me
But it
versus
would've-
just the one.
Yeah.
That's rough.
You'd be alive. We wouldn't be happy.
Yeah, I'd be
Yeah,
cooking because I'm
yeah.
wearing metal armor, so
Ugh.
that'd be unpleasant.
So we're gonna cut it there, and we will and we will pick this up from what you do now, climbing back up. Congratulations, guys! You stopped the magical bomb.
Hey.
Yeah, you guys keep talking and nobody magically explodes. Well done.